Me and Daddy and Grandpapa went out on the colony ship. They needed some farmers and engineers for work at the end of the trip. Now Daddy is a farmer and I'm an EE, my grandpa is a sage, which I guess is why they asked him on, never mind his ripe old age. Now colony trip takes 2 long years, even using hyperdrive, and they can't put all of us to sleep cause we won't wake up alive. So by the time 6 months went by without a thing to do, my grandpa got a hankerin for the taste of a homemade brew. When the liners start to passing with their passengers and bars, when the traders start to running, passing drinks between the stars, when the spacers start drinking and they'll drink most any swill, why you can bet they'll never forget the terrific centrifugal still. That's your part. Grandpa wiggled into the hold and he found some copper stock. He stole a fuel container and the fuel went out the lock. Then he went through a vent to maintenance to get a welding flash, and he slipped through hydroponics where he got some algae mash. Now fermentation vat is huge and cabin space is small, so to find a place to stash the stuff he sealed his shower stall. Then Grandpa found an old G-hold and he stamped it quarantine. He built his still inside it and he set the flash for steam. When the liners start passing with their passengers and bars, when the traders start to running, passing drinks between the stars, when the spacers start drinking and they'll drink most any swill, why you can bet they'll never forget the terrific centrifugal still. You're not singing. Well, now it's a funny thing about an old G, things just don't act the same. Heat don't rise and cold don't sink in the normal stilling scheme. So Grandpa waited days and weeks, but not a drop what came out. So Grandpa hauled off and kicked the still beneath the water spout. Well, Grandpa flew across the hold and he carried him down the hall, and that still began to rotate with its top glued to the wall. When Gramps came to and staggered in, he thought he'd lost his mind to see a spinning whiskey still with a tubing full of shine. When the spacers start to running with their passengers and bars, when the traders start to running, passing drinks between the stars, when the spacers start to drinking and they'll drink most any swill, why you can bet they'll never forget the terrific centrifugal still. So Grandpa got a bright idea and he built a wheel-shaped tub with heaters on the outer rim and siphons at the hub. He filled it with his mixture and he gave the wheel a spin. It took us 14 months to get him sobered up again. Our colony's been running strong for 30 years so far, and rest his soul, old Gramps would smile to see how rich we are. We ship his brew from sun to liver-hating fools. But us, we never touch the stuff, it's too good a starship fuel. When the liners start to running with their passengers and bars, when the traders start to spacing with their drinks between the stars, when the spacers start to drinking and they'll drink most any swill, why you can bet they'll never forget the terrific centrifugal still.